EscoNitz, and welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. This time we're on Day 3 investigation of the Turnabout Samurai. October 19th, 3:27 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. That was a close one, huh, Mia?
Really? Too bad. I'm sorry I missed it. But Maya! So, what happened?
Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea who did it. Now, all I need is a motive and proof.
Wow, good going, Nick.
Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is the last day we have.
Initial trial? What's that?
That's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system, they decided to speed the whole process up.
So, under that system, trials have to end in 3 days?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, we've no time to waste. Charlie! Mia's favorite potted plant. Maya's been watering it so much lately, it looks a little swollen. She's either trying to make it grow, or she's perfecting her water torture technique. It's a nice day outside. The hotel across the way is always full these days. Here's the bellboy happily cleaning the room. A poster of an old movie that Mia liked. I was thinking I should go see it myself. Then I realized that the poster doesn't actually say the title of the movie. There's a horrendous amount of legal books here. Scarier still is the thought that I have to read all of these now. I don't get it, Maya. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the Steel Samurai costume?
What? You mean Mr. Hammer was wearing the costume?
Yeah.
But Mr. Hammer was the victim, Nick. Why would he go through all the trouble of stealing it?
That's what we have to find out.
What happened with the director's testimony?
Well, it's pretty clear that the producer and the director were both in the trailer.
Huh.
Which means that the killer has to be one of them.
Really? Why?
Because the real scene of the crime was Studio 2, where that trailer is.
What?
Maya was always this excitable? Well, have you noticed anything that might help us?
I can't see what's going on when Mia is here, so no, I haven't noticed anything.
Right.
Maybe we should go talk to WP?
WP. Powers. Right. Oh, God. I don't want to talk to him. October 19th, Detention Center Visitors Room.
Mr. Wright, you did very well again today, thank you.
Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears?
Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed him in there.
And could you wipe that grin off your face?
Hey, WP, only 1 day left. Let's make it count.
Yes, though there's not really anything I can do to help.
I'm not really sure what I can do either.
Please, this is no laughing matter. Smile for the camera. This guard monitors the visitors room. He seems frozen in awe of Will Powers.
Excuse me. Thank you for showing me that, whatever it is. I wish I could think of some way for me to help you. So sorry.
Have you seen this, Mr. Powers?
What's that? I've never seen these Steel Samurais in my life.
These are the Steel Samurais that appear at live shows. A fanboy collected all these pictures himself.
Seeing things like this really makes me think. I mean so much to these kids, you know. Wah!
You don't know Mr. Monkey? Regarding the missing murder weapon. Is it heavy, that spear?
It's pretty hefty, yeah. I don't think an average person would be able to swing it around effectively.
And that's the spear that broke or something during the morning run-through?
Oh yes, I goofed on a round kick, you see. I broke the spear. The security lady fixed it for me right away, though.
With duct tape, we heard.
La, da, da. Here's that picture again.
Is that really Jack Hammer inside that suit?
He's the only one who it could have been.
But why would he?
Yeah, why?
You're the medium. Why don't you summon up Mr. Hammer's spirit and ask him yourself?
Give me about 3 more years.
Look at us, the 2 novices. Want to see my badge? Doc. Vasquez. Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez?
Oh, the producer? She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius.
A genius?
She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her it's different these days.
Why is that?
Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and...
And what?
Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumors anyhow.
Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manella?
Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director, but something in his work caught Vasquez's eyes. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Sal Manella. I hear he's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that.
I can imagine him being at her beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. Rude.
I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth.
Oh, yes, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global.
How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer.
He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global.
5 years ago? Okay, well, that looks like all we're getting out of him. Oh god. October 19th, Global Studios, main gate.
The old windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick? I think your guard's down.
Yeah?
I bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station if we wanted. You eat, you die! Woo! She's alive.
The computer that runs the security system. Huh? It looks like it's been turned off for the day. Why is it off? The security guard station. This old bag must like junk food. There's a mountain of it on the desk in there. I can see the computer that runs the security cameras. Looks like a studio van. They probably use it to carry around film equipment. Main entrance to the studios. They probably have a patrol officer on patrol out there. Or a police officer on patrol out there. An overhead map of the studios. Right from here is the employee area. To the left are the actual film studios. I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer.
Oh, the studio bigwigs love her. So she always gets her way.
She seems bitter.
Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry.
Can I ask you about Sal Manella, the director?
Sal? He's a soft pushover, does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Huh? Why would anyone like being treated like dirt? That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick?
No, it doesn't, Maya. About Mr. Hammer.
I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer, you'd drag his star down from the sky and stomp on it. Calling him a criminal, a thief. I won't forget this.
Uh-oh, she's really pissed this time.
You listen to me, whippersnapper. My poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Power's costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low. It's impossible.
Hey, you want to see my badge? Miss Oldbag, what do you think of this?
Think? I'm not in the mood for thinking, thank you very much.
Miss Oldbag.
What? Get that filth out of my sight! And you're claiming that's poor old Hammer in there? And I thought you were such an innocent use. Bah!
Nothing. Nothing. Okay. Done with her. Employee area? October 19th, Global Studios, employee area.
I guess they're not filming today either. I did want to see them filming just one time.
This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them film later.
I guess. This is where you found that bottle of sleeping pills, right?
Uh-huh.
I wonder if there's any other clues lying around. Yarg! No, no, no! No touching! Eek! Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. Didn't mean. I almost had a heart attack. Guess I can be a little dramatic at times. I suppose it's the actor in me.
Dramatic indeed.
Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table.
Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills?
Yeah, pal. Traces thereof.
You want to see my badge?
I'm guessing I know as much about that as you do, pal. I eat nothing.
Okay, nothing there.
So, you're looking for traces of the sleeping pills, how? For a thorough examination, I gotta take the plate back to the precinct. But I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to these sleeping pills, see? If there's traces, it'll change color. Wow, neat. Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for? Now, everything in due time, pal. ... Well, the tested solution on the plate changed color, alright.
So the food on this plate had been laced with sleeping pills.
Looks like it.
The investigation. How goes your investigation?
To tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers, and some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kinda bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though.
How is Edgeworth doing anyway?
Mr. Edgeworth is out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed his paper cup with hot coffee in it.
Whoa.
Talk about burns, pal. Wow, the fury of Edgeworth.
Yeah, crushing paper cups. Cups? Bottles? Say, whatever happened with that empty bottle?
Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim Jack Hammer's prints on the bottle. So that means... Yep, it sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim.
So I was right. Sleeping pill bottle added to the court record. Okay, let's check.
It's looking like Will Powers was drugged. I'm going to go back to the precinct to do some more detailed tests. You're being very free with your information today, Detective. Well, don't go telling anyone this, pal, but I was kind of impressed at today's trial, too. Most lawyers would have given up after that director's testimony. I think if it had been anyone but you up there, Powers would be done for by now.
Detective, about that bottle.
Oh, that? Talk about embarrassing, pal. I can't believe I missed that on my first sweep for evidence. Don't know how I can apologize to Mr. Edgeworth. It must be tough being a detective with all that responsibility. Oh,
Anything? Okay. Examine. That grape's still lying there.
Ah, hey, they've seen wisdom at last. They know if they fixed it, I'd just kick it off again.
That poor assistant. Looks like one of those electric-powered bicycles. I don't know about these. I mean, what's the point?
It makes it go a lot easier to go up hills.
Don't people cycle to get exercise? There's a half-finished backdrop for a stage here. Looks like they'll probably need an old Tokyo castle. The remains of the employees' lunch are scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. Here's a T-bone on one of the plates minus the steak. That must be the storage room. That's where they keep all the film equipment. Let's see, cola, candy, chips, gum. Huh? It's so normal. There's a sign on the dressing room door. Will Powers. It must be neat to be the star and have your own room like this. A window into the dressing room. The glass is frosted so I can't see inside. The door to the dressing room. It's not locked. And... okay, that's everything in here. Let's move into there.
Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? Why? But WP's innocent! Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done, but this week is the last episode of the Steel Samurai. What? No!
It's Power's bag.
I put all of WP's personal belongings in there. You'll be able to come pick them up, right?
I'm sure he'll come, yeah. There's a box for snacks on the table. They must give these to the employees. It's completely empty. I can feel Maya's eyes burning into the back of my neck. There are some regular suits in among the costumes here. Those must be his own clothes. It's locked. I guess he doesn't open his window much. It's kind of dusty outside. Looks like someone was sleeping here.
Oh, sorry. I haven't cleaned up there yet.
They always have mirrors like this in dressing rooms. I always check my hairdo when I look in a mirror. Not quite as spiky as usual, I see. There's an array of cosmetics here. This is the wig used in Samurai Boogie Woogie.
Wow, you remembered, Nick.
Thanks to you. Okay. That's everything. Yep. Okay. Let's talk. Well, actually, hang on. Badge?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure what to make of that. So, this photo was Mr. Hammer all along?
It seems that way.
Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Wow! It must have taken him forever to collect all these. Kids love the Steel Samurai. They do, don't they? I'm sorry. What's that?
An empty bottle of sleeping pills with Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it.
Now I'm really confused.
I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer.
Yes?
On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2.
Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume too! What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh. I guess the rumor must be true then. The rumor? Yeah, Miss Vasquez. That producer had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt, you know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too.
The film set? Was that trailer part of the film set then?
What do you mean, The Last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No! No! Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kids shows anymore. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided.
Why aren't they going to make kids shows anymore?
The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. They want it quiet, you understand? How can they do that? What about all the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay. I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something.
Yeah. I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this.
And this is?
A fan collected all of these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be cancelled just so some adults can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone.
You're right. Okay, but what can I do?
Well, for starters, you could tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago.
Okay.
Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago?
Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently, 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up.
And that's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer?
And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see.
You know who knows more about this?
Miss Oldbag. She was here at the studios back then, you know.
Thanks, we'll try asking her, if she'll talk. I don't remember the voice I gave Miss Vasquez.
What? You're still slinking around? If you like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darndest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer. It's all due to Hammer. She's starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Maybe we should keep at a safe distance.
5 years ago. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago.
Who told? Who did you hear that from? Nichols!
Nichols?
Nichols, Nick. Penny Nichols. That's the assistant we talked to.
Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he?
Whippersnappers! Dredging up dirt on someone's past like that? And the recently departed, no less. I suppose you think this is fun?
No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers.
And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume? You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof?
Proof that Hammer stole Powers' costume. I'm sorry, Miss Oldbag, but I do have proof. I can prove that Mr. Hammer stole Mr. Powers' costume. Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct?
Well, yes, so?
This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on that plate.
I bet Powers put it in there himself. Even a lightweight like him must have trouble sleeping sometimes.
Except I have proof that Mr. Hammer put the pills in. This bottle contained sleeping pills. Mr. Hammer's fingerprints were found on the bottle.
I see. Poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. Miss Oldbag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in.
Miss Oldbag.
You're right. 5 years ago, there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the mafia. She silenced that paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand, poor old Hammer never meant to harm anyone. Miss Oldbag. Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Oldbag. Here, take this.
A photograph? Oh shit. Wait a second.
This is the picture.
Is this the trailer in Studio 2?
Hammer was supposed to fight with a bad guy on the top of those stairs there. He pushed the other actor and the man fell onto the flower box fence.
But how did you get this?
It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it.
I understand. Oh crap. Man, this is getting deep. I wonder if I show this picture. Oh, no. Let's go show it to... Oh.
Detective Gumshoe must have left by now.
He's probably thinking about what to do in tomorrow's trial.
I bet Mr. Edgeworth is pretty angry with him.
Is Penny in the dressing room still?
The assistant must have gone off somewhere. That stuff about Mr. Hammer must have come up as a shock to her.
What happens if I present the picture to her?
Poor old Hammer. He was a big star. The biggest. That accident 5 years ago is what did him in. He wanted to hide it. He didn't want anyone to know. Poor silly old Hammer. If he had just come out and confessed, then Vasquez wouldn't have gotten her claws into him.
Outside Studio 1. October 19th, Studio 1 entrance.
Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the Steel Samurai costume, then he left from here to go to Studio 2?
Right.
But why? I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer?
Let's examine things. This is a security camera that takes photos of everyone who comes through the gate. It doesn't seem to be switched on today. Why is that? I'm bushed. Maybe I'll sit down here for a bit.
This is exactly why I don't want to get old ever.
Hey, I'm still young. I'm just tired.
Nick, when you have to say, I'm still young, you know it's all over.
But I am still young. Studio 2 is down that way. Studio 2, the real scene of the crime.
Say, Nick, how did you figure that out again?
Well, actually, it's a long story. I'll tell you another time.
Aww.
The mascot of Global Studios. Apparently, its name is Mr. Monkey, or if you're Edgeworth, Mrs. Monkey. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body. I don't have that card key anymore, so I can't go in there today.
It says welcome.
They let people in here when they're not filming, right?
Nick, let's come here someday. What do you say?
Sure, if Miss Oldbag lets us in. Alright, outside Studio 2.
Hey, Nick, it's Miss Vasquez. Hello? Hello?
Alright, I will be back in just a second. Alright, we're back.
Hello?
Maya, you should at least try to be polite.
I'm watching the clouds.
That's all she had to say, apparently. A light van for moving staff and equipment around. They've kept it in pretty good shape. Looks like it'd run fine.
Well, let's go for a drive.
Sure, if I had a license.
Nick, you don't have a driver's license?
But look, I have this.
Why are you showing me your attorney's badge, Nick?
An incinerator. Apparently they just put this one in. It's already covered in soot. They must not clean it much. This is where Salmonella and G. Vasquez ate. There's nothing left on the plates.
Hey, so they ate T-bone steaks too.
Something wrong?
I don't know. I'm getting this funny feeling. Something about this just feels odd, you know?
Can't say that I do. You mean the fact that there's no bones on the plate? And if you look, there are some flowers here.
Wow, so pretty. They're taking good care of these.
Don't get too close. That fence looks dangerous. What do you mean looks dangerous? You know it's dangerous. The trailer door. It's unlocked. On closer inspection, this trailer looks like it's been here for a while. I don't think this is part of some temporary film set. These look like materials for making a movie set.
They've been sitting here for quite some time. This might as well be a junkyard.
Okay, I think that's it. Oh, there's a big 2 painted here. So this is the number in Cody's photograph. And to think, if he hadn't brought that photograph in...
Don't get all teary-eyed yet.
Talk. Hang on. Talk.
Excuse me. Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder, and...
Shh.
Huh? Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds. I'm not interested in talking to you. Do something, Nick. She's really ticking me off.
Oh dear.
Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I think I'm tired of the Steel Samurai. You did it! Nick, she did it! She's the killer! My Fey blood speaks to me! I know it! I know it!
Oh dear. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manila? If you must talk about that man, perhaps you could talk about it in the trailer, by yourselves? Oh dear. You want to see my badge? She's not even looking. Okay, hey, you look.
Why are you showing that to me, Nick?
Oh god. Fine. I know exactly what you want me to show. She's not even looking. Where? Well, what? Where did you get that? Old bag. Old?
She means the security lady, Miss Oldbag, Nick.
Right, anyway. Miss Vasquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer.
The wind.
The huh?
It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind? Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. Nick, she went inside that trailer.
We should probably make a copy of this picture first or something. Like, doesn't this seem stupid?
You came. Well then, what was that you were talking about?
Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kid shows for petty change.
So, I'm a blackmailer now? Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident, but you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star.
Oh?
I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of its own accord. But you were the cause. You pressured him. And to think it was just an accident. Excuse me. What is this all about? You keep saying accident. Accident? How are you so sure?
What do you mean?
Must I spell everything out for you? Think, what would it be if it wasn't an accident?
No. No way! You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose?
That is what I mean.
Where's your proof? Can you prove it?
Just think. Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammers, you see. She jumped on that reporter who brought the photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hands, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too.
So that's why she had the photo.
She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporters would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy. But he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me, now. What? This is a valuable... Boys.
Who are they?
Professionals. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased?
What?
The trial ends tomorrow. How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it.
Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why should D. Vasquez care about it at all?
I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. So long, friends.
Boys!
Erase away. No! Hold it right there. I heard everything, pal. D. Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me. Now. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow then, in court. I'll be looking forward to it.
Yes! Go Gumshoes! One moment.
Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry, I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe. Thank you. Thank you. I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just do my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we will run into each other again soon. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this.
And who's at the bottom? D. Vasquez. To be continued. Save. Okay. Final save slot. Alright. Alright. October 20th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement.
In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear.
Very well.
Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today.
You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is the producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you said you were in the trailer of Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes. I dislike needless banter. You must pontificate. Do it when I'm not here.
But very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder.
Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay.
Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. She's in a dress. She's not wearing pants. The day of the murder.
I entered the trailer. Ooh, a little bit before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break at the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all.
I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you?
The van.
Hmm.
There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk with the monkey's head toppling over.
Manila used this van to drive Vasquez to Studio 1 after the meeting.
I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it.
The day of the murder.
I entered the trailer, a little before noon.
By yourself?
Yes.
And you didn't stop in at the employee area?
No.
Are you always this terse?
Yes.
Oh dear.
The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4.
Did no one leave during the meeting?
No one.
Come on, let's talk a little bit more about that.
The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth, and please stop banging on your little desk. It hurt my ears. Oof! There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1.
And when exactly was that?
I've forgotten.
Maybe you could try remembering?
No. The meeting ended at 4 o'clock, and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times.
You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edward.
I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me.
Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that mean?
It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van.
Oh, right.
At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting.
And what were you doing during that time?
Don't hit your desk. It irritates me.
Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops.
It was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer.
Do you have someone who can verify this?
Sal.
No, I mean someone else.
One person is enough.
If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat the steak.
Well, Nick, find anything?
I kinda wish she'd said a little more.
It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said, somewhere.
Present. I guess it's gonna be presenting. Hang on. This? I don't know. Nope, that was wrong. Your Honor, yep. I don't... Hang on. Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not.
Well, what's this now, Mr. Wright?
Look at this.
It's a plate?
This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet, there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't eat the steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator.
I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Not picking on Salmonella. Meeting the Steel Samurai. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai.
Order! Are you saying...
Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands.
Mr. Wright, isn't it a little presumptuous?
What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh, yes, the samurai spear. Yes? I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? You couldn't, could you? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Huh. You see? Yes? However, that has no bearing on this case. She used that fence post. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What?
What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body.
I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon.
Wrong, Mr. Wright.
But I haven't said anything yet?
I know you well enough to know that...
What?
I can sense it too with my Fey blood.
Okay, so I picked... Alright. Wait. What? What? Oh, there's no blood on it? I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that the spear broke during the morning action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now, tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest?
Order! Order!
Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Ugh! Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear is not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed?
Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer?
Again, would I make a claim like this, that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was?
I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then.
Look at this photo.
Well, what is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs! Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about?
This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again.
Mr. Wright, continue.
It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had done himself 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer, all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time.
Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body?
She had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? Hands? It's gonna be this, isn't it? Because after the meeting. For instance. Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then.
Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body.
Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony? There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so I went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Cell take me. There was a van there, right? I had Cell drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget it was Cell Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Was or... Of course he wasn't. Of course he wasn't. Ha! So without Mr. Manella noticing, she put the body in the van. Then managed to put the body into the costume? Are you seriously suggesting that is possible? Of course I'm not serious. Ha! I was kidding, to lighten up the proceedings. Lighten! You can't lighten up a murder.
Mr. Wright, the court requests you refrain from making claims in jest.
Yes, Your Honor. Of course Cell Manella had to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. Humph. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? Everyone's just stunned. So what happens next? Don't question mark me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer. Who can say? Huh? Are you sure that I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits. And that the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? What?
Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Of course it is as the witness says. Certainly it does seem very likely she did it, but, there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Testify again, Vasquez. I'd like you to testify again.
Testify again?
No one to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn! To come so far only to fail.
As it seems there's no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't.
I see, very well.
Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes.
Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about?
Well, yes, indeed, verily, I say. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body.
After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter.
Nick, why did Edgeworth...
Who knows? He probably realized she did it too.
But... Wasn't he always the one that... Wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that...
Edgeworth. After finding the body. I was with Sal and Old Bag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up. The security lady, Old Bag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying, "He did it." I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home.
I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Okay, Nick, we're close, real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick.
Right. After finding the body.
I was with Sal and Old Bag, the security lady, when we found the body.
What time was that?
We were to meet at 5 o'clock for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then.
When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio?
About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you.
Press harder. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio?
They weren't there yet.
Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help.
Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen what people are saying, boy.
But, boy, the witness will continue her testimony.
The assistant was there, too. Only Powers was absent.
Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct?
So he says.
Did you not go to call him?
Remember.
Remember what?
There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm?
You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Press harder. Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around?
The other way around?
You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez...
Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing.
Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains it. Very well, Miss Vasquez. You may continue.
I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up.
What was everyone else doing at that time?
No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry I'm late. Then silence, dead silence.
Like that?
Silence. Hey, Nick! Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. Security lady Oldbag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it.
Oldbag, the security lady? Why did the security lady think Powers had done it?
She said because she saw him going towards the studio.
Right, the Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word?
Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact.
That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera.
She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer.
I don't think there's anything in there I can use.
I asked to be left out of the proceedings.
You asked to be left out?
Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing.
But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question.
Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting. There was no way we could have been involved, thus they covered for us.
Covered for you, or covered it up for you. There must have been a lot riding on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning.
I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes.
The script and your direction notes?
Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen.
No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes?
Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything.
Why?
There was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that?
Oh yeah, I guess. But the murder... How'd you... You wouldn't... Very well, Miss Vasquez, please continue.
Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement.
You mean the fact that she just said there was a murder before she got to the studio? Or she knew of the murder before then? Huh?
Think.
Ms. Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio One. Thank you, Edgeworth.
Order! Order! Mr. Edgeworth. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense?
I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So, the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense? What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal.
Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason.
I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind.
It wasn't Hammer.
How did you know about that injury? How did I know? Sal, he told me.
Sal, the director?
You have to find something to peg this on her. Or everything we've done. You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What?
Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it. It was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez, you saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes.
Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured?
Yes, but remembered. Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg, too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers.
Ah!
And when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2 where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning.
Order! Order! I will have order!
Witness, can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing.
Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive?
Of course I can prove it. Okay. I have proof and I'll show it to you. I present to the court as evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive on the murder. It's that picture. This is my proof.
This is the photo from before?
This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His weight weighed on him no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the X-Star.
One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motive here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have?
Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me, and I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine.
Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder.
Wait. Is it known motive? Was he... I feel like he was trying to... I feel like he was trying to kill her, but she, self-defense, pushed him onto the spike. Let me look at my... Is it a profile I need to present? Evidence. Is this her? Who's the woman in the picture? I feel like this is gonna bite me in the ass. Okay. Allow me to present to the court. It's gotta be the picture. This is my proof.
And this tells us why Miss Vasquez wanted...
I'd say it all proves that the defense is completely...
Mr. Wright, the court requested...
Nick, we're so close. Think this through.
Let's... Just in case this, breaks things. You know, I'll save here. She had no motive. She had no motive, Your Honor.
What's that now?
It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs, in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? 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 Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Seal Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security leader into thinking he was Powers. Then, Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes, I'm guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No! How could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No! Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez. No!
Please, please don't die. Please. So she was a person in the picture. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again.
Mr. Edgeworth, where's D. Vasquez?
In the waiting room. In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm, as collected as ever.
I see. Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
it appears you have brought about yet another miracle.
I thank you, Your Honor.
I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent, that he should be found so is not only natural, not a miracle.
Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty.
Yay! Woo! Wee!
Order! That is all. This court is adjourned.
October 20th, 1:12 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
I don't know what to say. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright.
Uh-huh.
Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me?
Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... It's because you were the Steel Samurai.
Because I was the Steel Samurai?
Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kid's show, and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you.
I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him anytime.
I think you're missing the point.
Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over.
So am I. So am I.
Congratulations, WP.
Oh! Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume. Is something wrong?
No, of course not. Ah! Nick, Edgeworth.
Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers.
Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years.
Meet again?
However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you.
Mr. Wright, was that guy your friend?
What? Friends? As if they're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick?
For now we are, I guess.
Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth?
And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. It went back to making kids shows again. The Pink Princess.
Nick! This is it! The new show starts today. You're going to watch it with me, right?
I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it.
You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant.
Fine, I'll do it.
Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again?
What? He's playing her?
I wonder if they'll show his real face this time.
I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real world powers. The end. A brand new episode has been added. Alright, with that, EscoNitz, we're going to call this episode here. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, EscoNitz, share the love. Goodbye!